8-5 is over addition and subtraction expressions. You already know how to find the value of an expression that contains a variable, such as the one that I wrote down. You know to plug in 2 right here where the x is, and 8 plus 2 is 10. There's your answer. But today you'll learn how to write an expression that describes what we call a rule. The first thing I would like you to do is write down or copy this chart in your spiral, please. So on Xavier's line, it has 17, 20, and 25, and on Cade's line, we have 13, 16, and 21. Go ahead and copy that. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking a lot at patterns, and sometimes the patterns help us determine a rule. So I'm going to read the problem. Xavier and Cade played a math game. Xavier started by modeling a number with a place value blocks. Then Cade changed the number. So the numbers shown on the table are the numbers that Xavier modeled, and also the numbers that were modeled after Cade changed them. What rule did Cade use to change the blocks? So they're wanting to know what rule did Cade use to change the blocks. So first, we are just looking at Xavier. Those were the numbers he chose. But then Cade came in and changed Xavier's numbers to the numbers you see on Cade's. So Xavier first had 17, Cade changed it to 13. He had 20, and Cade changed it to 16. 25, and he changed it to 21. What rule or what pattern do you see the numbers being changed by? Well, I'm going to try to see what the difference between 17 and 13 is. And I know it's 4. Let's try 20 and 16. That would be 4 again. 25 and 21 would be 4 for the third time. So I believe that Cade's rule is to subtract 4 from Xavier's starting number, because every time Xavier had a number, Cade would minus 4, subtract 4, and get his new number. Another way I can say this, subtracting 4 from Xavier's starting number, is I can say S, because S stands for my starting number. What did I do with the starting number every time? If it was 17 was my starting number, what did I do to get down here to the 13? I subtracted, I minus 4. So my rule would just be S minus 4. We'll try a couple more so you get the hang of this. You will also see problems like this in your practice and on your test. So all the directions say are to find a rule. And you will see something set up like this. So what they are wanting us to find is whatever goes in this box. So all of these numbers in this row stand for n. So that means if I would have this expression, n plus something, I would be plugging in n down here. So I first plug in there, and then I would say, what do you have to add it by to equal 7? Another way you could think about this is, what is 3 being increased to when we drop down? What is 3 being increased to? It's being increased to 7. So what is the difference between that? If we have a number line, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's moving up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know the rule would be n plus 4. So let me back up here. So you can solve it two ways. You can either say, what's the difference here? Well, we know the difference is 4. What's the difference here? 4. What's the difference here? 4. That means over here, we know that the blank is 4. That's your rule. N always goes up by 4. Another way to think about it, a higher way to think about it, would be to say this is your algebraic expression, n plus something. And all of this row is n, like I was saying before. So if I said for this expression n equaled 4, I would plug in the 4 for n, and then I would say what would make it equal 8? 4. So n would still be... Okay, so if that last one confused you, I'm sorry. Let's try this one. So here is the row that all of these equal b. So b equals 31, b equals 42, and b equals 55. I want to try to find out what goes inside here, because that's my rule, b minus something. And so let's find out the difference. So the difference between 31 and 23. Well, if I write that out as a subtraction problem, I have to borrow 11, 10, 9, 8, 2 minus 2, 0. So I know right there that I moved 8 spots. The difference between 42 and 34, got to regroup, and I get 8 again. And I also get 8 again here. So my rule is b minus 8. That's my answer. So another thing I want you to notice, that if you start with a number up here that's greater than this number, if you are decreasing, that means your rule is going to be a subtraction problem. If we go back and you see that this number is smaller and it's increasing, your rule has to be an addition problem. Does that make sense? So if we have to go down, we're decreasing, which means subtraction. If we go up, we're increasing, which means addition. Go ahead and copy this problem down in your spiral. It's wanting us to solve two different things. It wants us to solve this box and this box. So in order to do that, we will have to use our patterns that we know. So we know that we're going from a lower number to a higher number. We're increasing. That means we know our rule over here is going to be addition. So what am I increasing by? 15, to get from 15 to 58, I have to increase by 43. I can also solve that by saying what's 58 minus 15? 43. That is one way to do it. What am I increasing by here? 43. Please notice that I am not going across. I'm not saying what's the difference between 58 and 61. I'm always going up to down, up to down. 20 to 63 or 43. Well, now it wants me to solve. I already know what's probably going to go in this box. Well, the same thing that we've been going over. So our rule would be n plus 43. But it also wants me to solve over here for this guy. So I have to say, what is 43 more than 27? So I need to write out 43 plus 27. I got my 27 from up here. 7 plus 3, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 70. So you would have two answers for this problem. You would write it out 43, that's your first answer, or n plus 43, and then a comma, 70. That's showing me that you have two different answers. Okay, so here are going to be a couple of quiz questions. The first quiz question is, I want to know what goes here. Does an addition sign, subtraction, multiplication, or division sign go there? The next thing I want to know is what goes in this blank box. Well, in order to find that, remember you have to find the pattern between all of these. The third thing I want you to do is find the actual answer, which is in this box. This box, remember that this box tells you what the rule is, so what we are going up or going down by. And after you get done filling that out, you are done, and you can go on and go ahead and start the practice. Please come tell me how many you missed. Thank you.